parents thought. But it just so happened that Tate County Youth Court referee Leigh Darby was there at that same time on another matter. And Miss Darby decided that she wanted all three of these children drug tested. As you can imagine, the parents were concerned and curious as to why a drug test was necessary in a case involving three children walking across a neighbor's yard. And they questioned Judge Darby why the drug test was necessary. Judge Darby didn't take kindly to those questions, and she proclaimed that she was the youth court referee of Tate County, and she had power over all the children of Tate County. If these parents didn't like it, they might want to move to another county. She then insisted on the drug tests, and Mr. Hassel here, Cavante's father, said, "I think I want to call a lawyer." And when he said that, she ordered him off to the detention center. She said all three of them are going to the Alcorn County Detention Center. These three children were then shackled at their hands and at their ankles. They were led to a transport van. They were driven over 2 hours to Corinth, Mississippi, to the Alcorn County Detention Center. When they arrived at the Alcorn County Detention Center, they were stripped naked. They were forced to squat and cough while they were closely observed by detention center officials. They were then given detention center underwear and detention center clothes, and they were incarcerated in that detention center for 3 days. We are concerned by the fact that that youth court referee, who so impulsively and without any due process, without the presence of lawyers, without a formal proceeding, without any findings regarding these children, that judge who sent these kids to the detention center is set to go back, resume her position on Tuesday, November 1st. The people of Tate County are concerned, so much so that the Board of Supervisors passed a resolution in early October saying we have no confidence in Leigh Darby. We don't want her to be our youth court referee. Ms. Darby also serves as a drug court judge and the family master in Tate County. The Board of Supervisors said we don't want her to do that either. She's not the person for the job. Ms. Darby wasn't elected by anybody. People of Tate County didn't elect Ms. Darby. She's appointed by Judge Percy Lynchard, who's the senior chancellor in these parts. So she was selected by a vote of 1-0. That's Judge Lynchard's vote. And we hope that Judge Lynchard is going to rethink this appointment. We hope he's going to look at the images of these children. We hope he's going to think about this story. We hope he's going to listen to the Board of Supervisors. And we trust, if he does that he will not return Leigh Darby to the bench. People of Tate County don't want her. She does not have a proper judicial temperament. We're also very concerned by the policy of the Alcorn County Detention Center to strip search every child who goes through that facility. Children of Mississippi entrusted to their care. And when those children come through, regardless of their age and regardless of the charges against them, when they strip those children naked and force those children to squat and cough, every Mississippian, every American should be highly offended and highly disturbed. And we need to ask some hard questions about our juvenile justice system in Mississippi. Who's overseeing these youth court judges? Who's overseeing these youth detention centers? Who's protecting our children? So just as we call on Judge Lynchard to reconsider his decision to allow Ms. Darby to resume her position on the bench, we call on the leadership of Alcorn County, Mississippi, the Board of Supervisors, the sheriff, to revisit this policy and to change their policy. And we want the leadership of Alcorn County to change that policy in writing. And we want them to declare publicly that they will no longer engage in this unconstitutional conduct. The Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution protects all of us against unreasonable searches. And that applies in Alcorn County, Mississippi, too. We expect them to follow the law. We hope also that the officials of Alcorn County who stripped these children naked and searched them and who are responsible for what happened to these children will publicly apologize to Lakaya and Loranda and Cavante for what they went through and for what they're going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. This didn't just end the day they were released from that facility. They're still dealing with that trauma, and they will. They will for a long time. And the people of Alcorn County, the leadership of Alcorn County owes them an apology. But it's not just Alcorn County either, because Tate County officials sent them there. It's the leaders of Tate County who decided that they're going to send them to Alcorn County Youth Detention Center. And they know that every child that goes to that detention center is stripped naked and searched, regardless of their age and regardless of the charges against them. And the leadership of Tate County should end immediately its practice of sending any child from Tate County, Mississippi, or any child from anywhere in Mississippi who's ordered to be detained through the Tate County Youth Court system. They should cease immediately sending any of those children to Alcorn County, Mississippi. They're responsible. They have to answer some hard questions about this. If they didn't know, they need to explain why they didn't know what was happening to the children of Tate County, Mississippi, who they sent away. And if they did know, they have a lot of additional explaining to do. Tate County is responsible as well. Many of these youth court matters never come to light because the records are confidential. You may see some initials of some children. You may hear rumors about what happened in the courtroom. But these families, thank goodness, these good families wanted you to know what happened to their children, children who've never been in any trouble, children who aren't a danger to anybody, and children who were acquitted of the charges against them, children who were found not guilty, children who have committed no crime. They want Mississippi to know, they want America to know what happens behind the veil of secrecy in the youth court justice system. So I applaud them. It takes a lot of bravery, and I particularly applaud Leigh and Lorandra and Cavante. This is embarrassing. This is difficult. And they step forward and they're standing before you today in front of all these cameras, in front of all these people, to let you know that these are real people with real faces, with bright futures, who have been hurt. And I hope you'll take a long look at them and recognize that there are a lot of kids in Mississippi just like this, who get mistreated just like this. And we have to take this seriously. If we don't, we've failed as a society. We certainly, as a lawyer, we failed as a legal system, and I'm concerned about that. So I hope we'll see change. That's what these families want. Frankly, it's what we expect. And I want you to hear from these families. And at this time, I'd like to invite Dexter Burton, Lakaia's father, to come to the podium and speak on behalf of that family.
I'd like to say that this whole situation, I think it was terrible that these kids had to go off to a juvenile facility for 3 days for walking through someone's yard. And it's humiliating, it's embarrassing to them, to the parents, and to the community. If we don't stand up for ourselves, no one else will.
I'd like to invite Lakedra Wright, Lorandra's mother, to say a few words on behalf of their family.
I feel like me as a parent, my daughter's civil rights were very violated. For her to have to go to a detention center for 3 days for simply as trespassing, I mean, it's just ridiculous, and it devastated me and my husband and the family.
Finally, I'd like to invite Cavante's father, Thomas Hassel, to speak on behalf of him.
Well, me as a father and being at the jail that night when they took my son away, it really bothered me because I wanted him to be released to me. I figured I know he hadn't did nothing wrong. And for when he said, "Dad, you gonna let these people take me to jail for walking across the yard?" And me not being able to stop them really hurt me real bad. And, you know, that night I didn't sleep, and to hear his mother cry all night, wondering where is he? I didn't know. And, you know, it bothered me bad, real bad, and it made me feel helpless and less than a man that I let these people, you know, just take my son away for nothing. So that's gonna bother me a long time, but, you know, like I said, you know, I did the right thing, and hope the right thing come out of it. But, you know, I did what I did right, and we wait and see what's gonna happen by it.
due to the potential litigation in this matter, I'm not going to ask the parents and the children to answer questions, but I'm happy at this point to address any questions that you might have regarding this incident.